All right, hello, welcome to the show. Such as it is, this is a recording. Sorry. Anyway, my name is Stephen D. Kelley. This is the Stephen D. Kelley Show. Welcome. And yeah, it's another week we're having issues. Let's see, what is it? July 3rd, the day before, the 4th of July. Yeah, 1:45 p.m. I'm doing this relatively early. I don't know how long the show's going to be because, it doesn't always flow that good when I'm doing recordings. And when it's live, there's better energy and all that good stuff. The good news is that I'm using the blue microphone, as you see right here, although I should probably check my gain. I don't know. It's always something seriously. Oh, let's see. Ooh, I don't have my headset on, so I don't know what it sounds like. But who cares? Anyway, so small movements forward. The issue right now is that I can't hook up to the server. I can communicate to, what is it, Teams, but I can't. If I call Teams on the computer, it'll take the call, but there will be no audio. So I haven't figured it out. I guess the bottom line, what it gets down to, is that at the end of the day, I need help once again. Ha. What's new, right? I mean, seriously, the whole one-man thing, wearing all the hats. It gets old. We're doing our best. Yes, we are. We're doing our best. But anyway, so Grace probably is not used to being covered. She's making a little bit of noise. I don't even think you can hear that, but I can hear it. All right, what did I want to talk about? Again, like I've said here in the last couple of times, it's almost like any time I say anything anymore, it's going to be inflammatory, bullying, anti-Semitic, whatever, blah, 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 blah. What's the big thing going on today other than it's almost the 4th? Before I get into the current events, let me just say this. This holiday that's going to take place, this 4th of July thing, I know a lot of people think you need to go out and watch fireworks and that sort of thing. And I just got to say, I would ban that crap because, first of all, it's nothing but pollution, and it literally makes you retarded. The heavy metals and crap that people are breathing and spewing into the atmosphere when they're burning up that crap, it doesn't just destroy the earth, it destroys the humans that are exposed to it, and humans go out of their way to expose themselves to it. I mean, I will have to basically shut the door, turn on the air cleaners, and don't venture outside until the next day. And then I have to go out there and clean everything off. I mean, I've got sprinklers on the roof now, so I could get everything nice and wet if I have to worry about it. By the way, if I'm interrupted, it's because there's a cable guy in the backyard hooking up to neighbors. He'll probably come by and say something when he gets ready to leave. Hope he's good enough to shut the gate at least. Anyway, so yeah, when it comes to holidays, celebrating whatever it is, the last thing we need to do is be polluting the air any more than it is, or making the people any more stupid, seeing as that seems to be such a big deal right now, is the stupidity quotient. I guess the purpose of one of these shows, oh, there he goes, I'm watching him. Hey, he's shutting the gate. How about that? Good man. They don't look like he shut it all the way, though. That's okay. Yeah, where do I start? The Donald Trump crap, the whatever. Seriously, I can't really, to try to make any sense out of the current events is just fucking ridiculous. But I will say this, just like yesterday, I guess, they basically let off P. Diddy, Sean Combs. He was charged out of 5 very strong complaints against him. They only got him on 2, which are relatively minor compared to some of these other offenses that would have caused him to have done serious time. A lot of people, of course, are linking this to some sort of a Jeffrey Epstein type thing. But again, the word Jeffrey Epstein, of course, is synonymous with pedophilia. And I would just to point out a few things. First of all, well, a lot of the people, when they saw this crap judgment come down with this prosecutor, Comey's daughter, bitch, Maureen, whatever her name is, they were very disappointed. There was a lot of disappointment out there, a lot of disillusionment, people just giving up and throwing up their hands and saying, they're just going to move on. They give up. They don't care because they feel like there's nothing they can do. Obviously, for me, I think this is unacceptable, certainly. And if anything, an event like this where you can so clearly see how screwed up the system is and how screwed up the so-called law is of the so-called government of the rulers of the land, you would look for an alternative rather than just giving up and being a pussy. You might say, wow, maybe that Occupy the Getty thing makes a lot more sense now, which it should. Let me just talk real quick about this bitch Comey that was prosecuting Diddy. First of all, her father, James Comey, is known for being former head of the FBI, but he was also a high-ranking member of the HSBC Bank that was being indicted in New York. And we're talking about a criminal enterprise that was laundering funds for drug cartels, mafia, basically. HSBC Bank. It's a mafia bank. And of course, the prosecutor back then went on to become, I think, the Attorney General of the United States or some ridiculous thing under Barack Obama. But the point is that this is another perfect example of when a criminal, a high-ranking criminal, a mafioso, was appointed to a government position, and not just any government position, but a high-ranking government position, in this case, a law enforcement, by other mafioso. And of course, Donald Trump is the biggest example we have of this, but Comey is the one that should be in front of your face right now. Now, oh yeah, gotta be cats. I hope. Anyway. For me, it's just kind of pathetic because the more and more this stuff happens, and the more obvious it is that this is what's going on. It would seem like more and more of you would come back and say, wow, that Kelley guy, everything he said was right for the last however many years, and then some. But no, I just don't get it. I just don't see it. Maybe it's denial. I don't know. But yeah, nothing's going to happen. Now, just recently, this girl who was a victim of Jeffrey Epstein, Virginia Giuffre, supposedly launched a recording that was allegedly her, and it was allegedly her dead man switch, so they say. But she flat out basically said that Jeffrey Epstein was alive, which again is something I've been trying to tell you. You don't suicide the guy that has power of attorney over the billions and billions and trillions of dollars of looted money of everybody that uses the Intertel Bank. I mean, oh my God. He has Trump's power of attorney. He has the power of attorney of all these billionaires, multiple billionaires, mafioso. Another thing that's funny is that here, the CIA director, someone in the CIA, high-ranking CIA person, just came out, just recently, a day or so, could have been today, and even said that the whole business that was put out by Obama or whatever, Biden administration that Trump was somehow under the control of Putin was just a big smear campaign propaganda bullshit. But you see, here's the thing, which is another really sickening thing about the way these people are with their satanic half-truths, is that Putin, what's the connection? Putin, Russian, Russia, mafia. Is Trump connected to Putin? No. Is he Russian mafia? Yes, Trump is exactly Russian mafia. Khazar mafia, Intertel is Russian mafia. All the mafias are Russian mafias. Russian mafia is a major part of it. Chabad is Russian mafia. Trump is Chabad. So all this nonsense about him, we don't care. This bullshit about Putin, it's not about Putin. It's about the mafia. Now, I guess I remember now one of the couple of things I wanted to talk about today for you with respect to this whole P. Diddy nonsense. And that is all the other times, many, many times where we've had legal proceedings, so-called legal proceedings that have brushed this crap under the rug. Now, certainly, the Occupy the Getty mission is intended to do the exact same thing, but I guess in this case, they know they can't brush that under the rug. But hell, like look at the Jeffrey Epstein thing. The FBI supposedly raided his island, took all sorts of videos and hard drives and evidence, tons and tons of evidence, carted it all away, and yet nothing. Like the Jeffrey Weiner laptop or the Anthony Weiner laptop. Nothing. Kind of like me demanding that the FBI actually investigates what's under the Getty. Nothing. Well, here's the thing about the whole idea about the FBI investigating the Getty is that it really wouldn't be hard for them to do, because really all they would have to do is just walk down into their basement, maybe take the elevator down a few floors and get into the basement, I don't know, whatever, 6 floors down. And who knows, maybe take a golf cart the 1 point whatever miles away it is to that bunker. Now, you'd have to try to understand this enemy that we're talking about and its projection, because when you look at what they did at Iran with Fordo, and now we're starting to see that Trump's obliteration is actually nothing. They're just some holes that they're having to fill in with dirt. They actually just fill in the holes with dirt, seriously. But imagine the Getty. Imagine the bunker under the Getty, or imagine any of these bunkers, but let's just say the one under Los Angeles. First of all, we're talking about a bunker the size of a city. A bunker that's three-dimensional, not just flat, not two-dimensional, not a surface-built structures, but below surface structures on multiple different levels, not just stories, but complete different sections of underground, separate. Each one of these is a city unto itself. Each one of these levels, a city unto itself. You could spend your whole life in one of these levels, and many people do. The point is that you can't pierce this with a bunker buster. If you were to try to, say, use such weapons on the Getty, what would you do with those? I know what I would do. I would drop it right in the middle of the cactus garden, because I know that is a shaft that goes all the way down to the bottom. So you don't need to penetrate the earth. There's already a shaft right there. You just have to know where to hit it. Another thing to do would be to go after the rooms that have the portals. There's rooms with portals just not too far from that location that actually are where they hide the nuclear device that they plan on using to, close the door on us all. That should be our first concern, of course. But the point is that in order to eliminate all of the entrances to this, whatever you want to call it, rat's nest infestation, it would be impossible. I mean, you would really have to vaporize the entire LA basin and then some, because there's always entrances somewhere else. There's just so many of them. Which, again, is incredible to think of when you consider that these very same people piss and moan and make so much noise when, oh, Hamas has dug tunnels. Oh, Hamas has put something under the basement of a hospital. Oh, those Iranians, they're hiding their nuclear stuff underground. Too bad they didn't dig that stuff deeper, huh? They will this time. Anyway. I gotta tell you, people, though, seriously, I've got to get somebody to step up here that knows what the hell's going on with computers and this kind of thing. I mean, a little bit of help I get does come through, it seems like, but right now, like this issue that I'm dealing with the server, I don't see any reason why this shouldn't be relatively easy to deal with, but unfortunately, what do I know? I can only do so much. Probably something stupid, but again, I'm lucky that I got this working. Yeah. Well, I guess, back to this whole concept of the corruption of the government. It's been going on for so long. The FBI, everything. I mean, a really great example that we should never forget, of course, is McMartin Preschool. Perfect example. A satanic location, a little den of Satanism where children were actually taken and carted off to other locations where rituals could be performed. The evidence of this is all over the place, and yet a massive effort was made to shut it down. And why is that? It's because our entire government structure is of the satanic nature. But the men in this country, of course, have been reduced to cowards for the most part. They've been dumbed down. They've been made to focus on their greed and their ego. So your paycheck and what you buy with that money is really all that matters in this short little lifetime existence. It's really pathetic. I of course, I have so many examples of this so close to me, literally, and I don't really know what I can do. I mean, I'd like to think that when hell really does break loose, and when hellfire is about to be upon us, that these people will come to me, maybe admit that they were on the wrong side. It'll be a little bit late by then, but here's the thing. It really doesn't matter when it happens, but it needs to happen. It needs to happen before you die. Before you die. Because whatever preconceived notions you have, for better or for worse, will go with you. You'll learn the truth on the other side, of course, but you'll stick with those ideas that you had. That's hell. Seriously though, guys, what else? Okay, yeah, Gavin Newsom is trying to portray himself as poor. Again, Gavin Newsom, really? And everyone's like, oh, wow, he's not going to get far with that because of his Getty connections and everything else. We'll tear him apart. But it's like, really, people? Look at how far he's getting. What are we doing about it? How did he ever get this far? Should have stopped him at lieutenant governor. Anyway, I don't really have time to be disappointed. I have a lot of work to do, and I have to keep doing it no matter what. And I would like to hope that dire situations, deteriorating situations like the one we were in would motivate more people to become involved as opposed to pushing them in the opposite direction, unfortunately. But if you do want to help, and again, I'm probably preaching to the choir because I think the only people that are watching this are people who are involved. If you do want to help and be involved, first thing you got to do, of course, is email me, law17gun@aol.com. Let me know what you have to say. Also, that's where you go if you want free healing. You got to join the group, of course, on Telegram, which is Occupy the Getty /Stephen D. Kelley. And if you would like to donate, of course, with PayPal, you've got to use the Stephen Kelley 714 at yahoo.com, and you have to say friend or family. I wake up thinking about what I'm going to say on these shows, and even if I do have things to say, it unfortunately, last week I spent the whole day trying to configure just to try to get a recording or something. I can't remember what I did, but we got some sort of a show up. But now this week, God, same whole thing. Anyway, so at least my audio interface is working, but somebody has to step up, okay? And I know that most people are motivated by money, but maybe I can find something else to motivate you with. Weed, perhaps? Maybe demographically speaking, I'm living in a ghetto. There isn't any young people around me that are good at IT because, it's a ghetto. I have to be in Orange County or something a little more, different culture. All right, guys. Again, I apologize for the really icky short show. I'll probably think of all kinds of things I wanted to say, but again, like I said, it doesn't flow very good when I'm trying to do a recording. But again, all I can say is I need lots and lots of help. Okay, it's the harder it gets, the more help I need. And I will wait until showtime to post this tiny little show. But otherwise, those of you that are tuned in, thank you. And I guess I'll talk to you later. I don't have any music for you. Sorry. You're going to have to deal with it the way it is. Who knows? Maybe I'll play some music before I turn this show on. Yeah, that's what I'll do. Yeah. Then I got to sit there and wait for the show to end and play music. Just for you guys, huh? Sorry, I can't do that. Anyway, I hope I see you in the group, and we've been losing a lot of numbers in the group, and hopefully that'll change. But obviously the P. Diddy trial going the crappy way it did, that's not helping us. That's not really motivating people. We did get an influx of people when he got arrested, but after that, nothing. Okay? So if you can figure out what we need to do, help me out. If you can help me out anyway in the IT department, help me out, contact me right away. And if you do contact me, please come through. Okay? All right, and again, thank you so much for your patience. Hopefully we'll get this stuff working properly next week. Again, let's see, what is it, July 3rd, day before? Stay safe and sane. How about that? Hold on. Good night. God bless, adios, and goodbye.